Hello, my name is Alencia Lamb, and this is my presentation for MKT532, or Consumer Behavior, for Module 2, Memory, Perception, and Information Processing. So the topics discussed in this module were consumer perception, memory, and consumer/behavior learning. So starting off with the first topic, consumer perception. The two main concepts to understanding consumer perception in terms of behavior are exploring how individuals interpret information and understanding market stimuli. To change or alter consumers' perception, marketers and companies tend to play onto consumer senses. And by focusing on sensory cues, marketers are able to influence consumer decisions with the help of attention techniques and information processing models. Perception allows consumers to interpret and organize sensory information to create meaning of what is being presented. Brands use subliminal advertising to influence said customer behavior to see below the surface conscious awareness threshold. The main way that brands are able to alter or bring perspective to consumers is by playing on their senses. The main way that brands do this is through visuals, as they have the ability to evoke certain emotions and associations. Brands can also influence the other four senses, as they can also evoke memories, feelings, and emotions. By using the five senses, brands create a multisensory experience. Consumer perception can also prevent selective attention by aligning consumers' needs and interests with what they deem to be relevant and reducing threatening or contradictory stimuli. The information process model for consumer perception is as follows. Exposure leads to contact with the stimuli. Attention leads to allocation of mental resources, allowing for consumers to process the stimuli. Interpretation leads to consumers understanding the stimuli. And memory leads to consumers storing the information for future use. Some factors influencing perception are individuals themselves, society and culture, situational factors, the stimulus, and perceptual biases. Moving on to the next topic discussed is memory. Memory is defined as encoding, storing, and retrieving information. There are two different types of memory: short-term memory or working memory, where memories are temporarily stored and information is manipulated into chunks for better enhancement, and long-term memory or extended memory, where events or facts of memories are either consciously recollected or implicitly retained unconsciously. Attention is key for consumer memory, as they can boost experiences and make better memories. Reliability, such as analogies, is very much so helpful with consumers' memory. And exposure also helps with memory, as it brings attention to the stimuli and is able to trigger one or more of the five senses. It has been noted that memory and recall are greater when a persuasive appeal is compatible with self-regulatory motives. The memory system is as follows: sensory memory, attention, short-term memory, elaborative rehearsal, and long-term memory. The different types of memory that was discussed were amygdala, where emotions and experiences are retrieved; basal ganglia, where motor skills are used; and cerebellum, which controls the storage and retrieval of long-term memories. And now moving on to the last topic that was discussed in this module, consumer/behavior learning. Learning is defined as acquiring either new knowledge, skills, or behavior. Behavioral learning theories focus on stimulus-response connections. This is where the cognitive load comes into play, where consumers make a mental effort to process information presented to them. To help aid them with this, cognitive theories are presented, where they help consumers become problem solvers as they learn. The process of this is the stimulus, consumers, and then the response. And there are two different types of conditions for learning: classical conditions, where the stimulus elicits a response, and a stimulus that does not elicit a response on its own, and instrumental conditioning, where the individual learns to perform behaviors that produce a positive outcome and avoids negative outcomes. Given these definitions, it can be inferred that learning allows for a change in behavior from interactions between a person and a stimulus. And again, my name is Valencia Lamb, and this is my presentation for Module 2 for MKT 532, or Consumer Behavior.